Hello, hope you're all doing great. It's March 15th. It is Wednesday, and today I'm going to be talking about multiple things. So, I'm going to start off by talking about a potential severe weather event, or really not potential, likely severe weather event, potential severe weather outbreak that we are going to be expecting tomorrow in areas of the south central U.S. Then after that, I'm going to be talking about an interesting storm system to begin next week in areas of the southeast and even in the mid-Atlantic. So, I hope you are all doing very well, and let's go and get started. So this is our day 2 outlook. This is valid for 12Z tomorrow until 12Z Friday. We have an enhanced risk for areas in northeastern Texas, southeastern Oklahoma, and southwestern Arkansas with a slight risk extending pretty far south into Texas and also almost over into extreme western Mississippi there. 5% tornado risk centered kind of right around the Texas-Oklahoma border and down into northwestern Louisiana. We have a 30% wind risk and a 36 hail threat. So actually, hail and wind are our main threats, but we do have a potential for significant hail. So hail of 2 inches in diameter, kind of centered right over the Dallas-Fort Worth area right there. Let me turn on that. We can see a population center right there. So let's go ahead and talk about that. So we're over on Pivotal Weather here. So just looking at kind of forecasted reflectivity. That's what I want to start off by looking at. So this would be about 4 p.m. tomorrow. We're looking at a few storms going off on the cold front in areas of Oklahoma and northern Texas. Also, even some snow back over here. We have some colder air. And that's going to kind of be the story as we go throughout here. So 7 p.m. we're starting to see more of those storms. And then overnight that kind of line seeps south all the way down to even the Houston area eventually. And we do even see some snow mixing in. Or some wintry precip mixing in Friday morning, even indicated in the Dallas area too. So I don't think we're going to see much. Considering every time the HRRR has something like this, it never actually happens. But take a look at models like the NAM3, which I actually haven't looked at yet. So kind of curious if it does have anything. Yeah, like the NAM3 barely has nothing. Okay. Yes, I wouldn't really completely buy the HRRR. It just does not have a good history of these types of things. But yeah, so we'll see. I definitely think some places could get a quick little burst of snow, especially kind of in western, kind of like pretty much right in the middle of Texas. So yeah, now I want to look at just strictly composite reflectivity. Now we're gonna take some soundings. Okay, so. Tomorrow afternoon, okay, 19Z. Let's take a sounding with these storms up here in Missouri, okay? I'm not expecting this to be good. And yeah, this is not good. This is not a good sounding, okay? So a couple of issues we have is, of course, we have the first clear issue is we have capping. We have a lack of instability. Okay, the thermodynamic profiles are not good at all. Pretty much anything we'd have with this sounding would be hail. That'd be all you see, in my opinion. And a low end, low end wind threat, no tornado threat. I don't think you're gonna see with that. But then further south in Oklahoma and stuff, that's where we have that good environment. Okay, so this sounding here, easy 5% Tor sounding in my opinion. We can see we have decent shear. The Hodo it's kind of weird. I think mainly because of this region right here, where we have those winds backing a little more. So it kind of leads to that odd shape of it instead of it just being like that. So a little bit of an odd sounding, but you could still see a tornado threat out of that for sure. Mainly tornadoes and hail with that. So I think we're going to see mainly a tornado and a hail threat once these storms get going along this front. And then we're just going to see a forced line push southeast. So by 7 p.m. we take soundings in Texas. Same thing. Shear profiles are pretty like mediocre. That's why we had that 5% risk. But nevertheless, we do have a tornado threat. Okay, and actually, this environment down into like this area here is not bad. That kind of stood out to me for a second there. Take a sounding in like this area of western Louisiana, and yeah, these shear profiles are actually kind of better in my opinion. The Hodo is a little weird. The Hodo is more favorable to some like southeastern moving, like HP kind of embedded supercells. So I wouldn't be surprised if like in this area here we do see kind of that case where if we can see any storms, we could be looking at just some like embedded supercells that are going to be kind of like the sounding support. Wait, so let's take another sound here. So the sounding support, I guess southeastern moving storms. It's kind of weird. They're moving northeast, but they're okay. So that's a cool. That's actually pretty interesting. And then we have that line that just kind of demolishes that area there. But I definitely think if this band of supercells actually happens right there, or not band of supercells, that band of convection actually happens, we could be seeing some embedded supercells, and that line dives south into Texas there. So on the NAM3 here, just want to see any main differences. We do also have that little clump kind of in that area there. This is actually not a bad sign. Okay, there's issues with capping and stuff, but if we can get around that, then I can definitely see some supercells. Either way, I definitely think we're going to see supercells that are just we're going to be seeing supercells either way that could either like struggle to produce, and we'll just like mesos and stuff. Could be one of those days where we just see like reports of funnel clouds and stuff and no actual touchdowns, or we could actually see something if we can get that. If we can get the storms to get to the break the cap. A couple of the issues in this area as well as instability, but yeah, we're over with this line in Texas. Similar story to the HRRR. You would see a 5% Tor risk. I honestly don't see like them adding a 10 SIGINT. Maybe a normal 10 Tor, but I don't think we're going to be. I don't think, in my opinion, this is going to be the type of squall line we're just going to be seeing like spam supercells, like we've had a couple of those recently. I don't think that's what we're going to be seeing. I don't think that's what we're going to be seeing. Okay, that doesn't mean that like if conditions improve and stuff, like we get more instability. There's not, and like I don't really know how to put that, but yeah, I mean we could be seeing potentially, but I just don't think we're gonna see that. But yes, that's kind of the overview of the severe weather threat tomorrow. Like I said, I don't think we're gonna see a 10 Tor be added, but I give it about a 50-50 chance we see it like a 10 Tor. But then if we see a 10, I really don't see a 10 SIG, to be honest, in any way. But knowing the SPC, I think they could do a 10. All right, so not talking about another thing. So we're talking about this potential storm system. Okay, so after this kind of moves through the east here. Okay, so this is the Friday evening time frame here. You're looking at a cold front stretched out across the portions of the southeast and up into the mid-Atlantic. We even have some snow indicated in some of the mountains there, and then as that clears, Saturday will be a cold day. We take a look at temperatures. Cold in some areas. Definitely pretty cold for this time of year, though. I mean, no matter where you are in the south, other than like southern Florida there. So yeah, okay, now as we want to watch, okay, this cold air just pretty much stays around. We see that 540 line doesn't really lift that far north until we get this storm system that just kind of goes straight into it Tuesday, okay? Now, if this actually was happening in January or even February or December, we could be looking at a snow event. The GFS has been has been kind of showing a snow event in this region here. Although we take a look at the latest GEFS and it is terrible. We go back to like the 12Z, much better. 06Z was even better. 00Z was better than that. So we've had a solid downtrend over the past 4 runs. So, I mean, I thought the chances of that are dwindling, but we could be looking at like a pretty heavy rain event, even a severe weather event across Florida with that low right there. So this is Wednesday morning. We're looking at the low right around coastal Georgia there, just looking at pretty much a shield of precip on the backside of this. Middle Georgia, northern Georgia, upstate South Carolina, pretty much all South Carolina actually, and kind of into North Carolina with that heavier rain across southern Georgia and the Florida Panhandle. The European, we can take a look at the Euro real quick. We have to go back to the 12Z run. And so the Euro doesn't even have a storm system actually, which is weird. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, so this is an issue between the European and the GFS. Okay, we'll look at the same time, the exact same time. Okay, between the Euro and the GFS. Okay, next Wednesday morning, and there's literally nothing. There's nothing. We don't see any of that. So that's a pretty significant discrepancy. That's a very significant discrepancy in my opinion. Between having a storm system and actually not. So, I mean, the chances of a southeastern winter storm from this are already very low, and they're slow. They're quickly going away, and this just kind of makes it also not likely in any way. So, I really don't think we're going to be seeing anything, because I don't think, in a lot of areas, like the latest snowfall ever in the southeast were was like March 24th, and stuff. Other than that one, I know there's like one random day at the end of April in northern Georgia where we had a couple inches of snow in some places, from like Athens over to Atlanta. It was like April 25th, 1910. Yeah, that was the day. That was pretty interesting, but I don't. Yeah, there was a different time back then. Okay, that's different. But I guess that's pretty much all I got. Okay, so I mean, really the main takeaways from this storm system here is that, I mean, I think we're gonna be looking at something. I'm not really. I'm not sure which model to actually buy here. I really don't think the Euro. I don't know if we're gonna see. I think we're gonna kind of see a moderate solution with this. I don't think we're gonna be seeing a storm system quite like what the GFS has, but I think we're gonna be still looking at like something. So yeah, thank y'all for watching the video. I should be back either tomorrow or Friday. Oh yeah, goodbye.